As you're getting ready for your scripted stories, I wanted to show you guys some samples of how you can pull the books together. So here are a few samples of the books. You can see that this one is just a paper book that was held together with a spiral bound, and then it also had images that were from the computer. So you want to make sure that the images reflect the words that are in your story. So this is one example and how it's bind together. Then this is an example of a scripted story. This one was laminated, but make sure, especially when you're laminating, that you check for grammar and sentence structure. And so this one, instead of using images from the computer, these are actually die-cut images that were put together to tell the story. So you want to think about the neatness of it and how you pull it together when you are creating your book. This one, she typed her words and printed them and cut them out for the pages of her story. This one is one that you can tell was self-illustrated, the cover. And it was stapled together, which is not the best method because each time you go to touch the back of the book, you're poked with the staples. So you want to take that into consideration. This one, she hand wrote the story, the words to her book, and used real images, real photos. So this is just another example. Throughout her story, there are all real photos to demonstrate the behaviors from her story. And this is one where they use 3 rings in the ring holders to keep the story together. It is also laminated. Oops. But you can see these first couple of pages have a lot of words, very little images. So you want to make sure that you balance the words with the images. And then all of her images are drawn. So that's another way you can do it as well. So I just wanted to show you a couple examples of how to pull together your scripted stories. Lastly, I want to show you some children's books. So when you're coming up with activities or strategies to use for your behavior management plans, you can consider curriculum that's appropriate for children. So when we're talking about manners, and I have both for like the toddler, the younger version, and then for older preschoolers. And then here's another one, Chester the Brave. There's a good series on books that talks about bullying and just making friends and how to do that with people that are a little bit different from you. So Chester the Raccoon has a whole series of books, and then you have the toddler version, and then you have an older preschool version. And then this is another series. Tails are not for pulling, teeth are not for biting, words are not for hurting, feet are not for kicking, and you've probably heard of the other one, hands are not for hitting. So this is the little toddler version, but there's also the preschool version of the same series of books. This is a book, it's Is It Right to Fight? And then this is another series of books that talks about certain characters of social, being in social situations, so how to be a leader, being responsible, making friends, and so on, following rules. So you want to consider developmentally appropriate curriculum when you are incorporating strategies for redirecting behaviors, and also strategies for how to maintain the right behaviors, because it's okay to change it for that moment, but you want to make sure that the children have an understanding of why those behaviors are not okay and which behaviors they should do instead. So you might look at these books to help you with teaching children a new skill that they need to have. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.